right, so we'll jump into our very first matchup. For all of you that have been stuck at home, not able to go anywhere, this is pretty much every day for these creatures. So barnacles versus oysters, these are our quarantine masters. They don't move, as adults at least.
Same with all of us right now.
Right, yep. Sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, and this, apparently, right? Barnacles, really interesting, kind of overlooked organisms. They are actual animals. They kind of look like mini volcanoes. When you see them out, they're always in a big clump. And probably everyone's most interesting fact about them, they're quite well endowed. Also, the eastern oyster, which we also have down here, they range all the way up into up into New England as well.
They are very shucking cool.
Very shucking cool. Down here, they're a little bit smaller because it is a little bit warmer temperatures down here. So usually animals in warmer areas are a little bit smaller. Even so, our little tiny guys, a couple inches long, can filter like 30 gallons of water per day. So they're very important for the ecosystem. Keeping that water clean out in the estuaries.
Well, our next matchup, if you don't mind moving on, we got the whale of a snail battle. These are the huge snails of the estuary. They are ridiculously large. Some of the biggest in the world. We have the horse conch matched up against the lightning whelk. Now, the horse conch we call the Death Star of the MUDFLATs in the estuary. They are your apex predator of the benthic community. They can grow up to 2 feet long. I mean, if you can imagine, that is massive.
One snail.
They're the largest snail in North American waters and the second largest snail in the entire world. And you find them right here in Southwest Florida. And it's the state shell of Florida, which is pretty interesting.
Very cool.
So he's going up against the lightning whelk here, which is also a really large snail. But the unique thing about them is they open to the left. They're the only left-handed snail we have around here. So we have left versus right.
Our mudflat giants, also kind of in that same category. So we have the horseshoe crab and the giant red hermit crab. Horseshoe crabs, one of those true blue bloods of the competition, figuratively and literally. They do actually have blue blood. It is very important for biomedical industries, so a lot of times they go out and harvest this blood from these horseshoe crabs, and they can use that to test for bacterial infections and some medical equipment and things like that.
Giant red hermit crab is going up against the horseshoe crab, and this guy is a titan of the mudflats as well. Enormous, up to 19 inches long. The crab itself, and it often takes the shells of horse conchs, and they'll fight and kill other crabs to take their shells when they need them. So they're tough contenders.
And last but not least, probably my favorite grouping in this category, which we have named the spicy plastic bags. These are our jellies. So we have 2 contenders, the sea nettle and the comb jelly. Sea nettle is kind of your stereotypical jellyfish, has that big belt at the top and all the tentacles that hang down. Floats around, they have these things called nematocysts, which are just the stinging cells, so that's the bad things that you don't like to get touched by when you're out at the beaches. They are carnivores, so they have to eat other things, including other jellyfish, but they also get eaten by a lot of important things like our endangered sea turtles. Our comb jelly is also in this group, but these are kind of the good guy jellies of the estuary. They actually don't have stinging cells, so they're really just a mild plastic bag just kind of floating around,
less
right?
Spicy.
Yeah, less spicy, yeah. Like mayonnaise spicy. It's not a true jellyfish because it doesn't have those stinging cells.
And I've heard they bioluminesce also.
They do.
Pretty well known
bright,
for that.
flashy lights. Pretty cool, pretty interesting little critters. So I'm very interested to see who will win that one.
Very cool. So that's the beginning of our invertebrate matchups here. That's the first 4 matches. We got 4 more to go, and we'll touch on each one of those when we come back from a message from our sponsors, Rising Tide Explorers. See you soon.